Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, aka the True Prince of Pro, and today I'm here to review episode 26 of AAA TV on Fox in Mexico. Opening things up this week, we have a triple threat #1 contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship, as it's Jack Cartwheel versus Mini Vikingo versus Dragon Lee. Mini Vikingo flips off the chest of Jack Cartwheel, and Dragon Lee catches Jack Cartwheel with a big boot to start off this match. Mini Vikingo goes and hits Dragon Lee with a Hurricane Rana, but Dragon Lee flips out of it, lands on his feet, and Jack Cartwheel catches Dragon Lee with a super kick in the face. Mini Vikingo hits Dragon Lee with a Tope Suicida to the outside, and Jack Cartwheel follows it up by hitting Dragon Lee with a Tope of his own. In the ring, Mini Vikingo and Jack Cartwheel avoid each other's kicks and do a double back handspring superhero standoff spot. When Mini Vikingo goes to hit the ropes, Dragon Lee pulls him out of the ring, and that's when Jack Cartwheel hits a Sasuke special to the outside onto both of them. Dragon Lee dodges Jack Cartwheel in the corner and super kicks him while he's upside down. Dragon Lee follows that up with a wrecking ball dropkick in the corner, and then he goes to the top rope, but Mini Vikingo, out of nowhere, catches him by surprise and hits him with a Spanish fly, and then follows that up by hitting Jack Cartwheel with a Meteor in the corner. Mini Vikingo runs at Dragon Lee, but Dragon Lee drops him with a super kick. Dragon Lee then puts Mini Vikingo up in the corner, and then drills him with a vicious double stomp. Jack Cartwheel hits his up and over elbow drop onto Mini Vikingo and tries to steal the pin, but Dragon Lee breaks it up. Jack Cartwheel and Dragon Lee are trading shots back and forth. Jack Cartwheel counters out of a Styles Clash attempt, but Dragon Lee throws him to the floor. Dragon Lee goes for his torpedo dive, but Mini Vikingo cuts him off and hits a tornado dive onto Jack Cartwheel on the floor. Dragon Lee hits Mini Vikingo with a shotgun dropkick that sends him into the announcer's table. Back in the ring, Jack Cartwheel catches Dragon Lee with a standing Spanish fly for a near fall. Jack Cartwheel goes for a shooting star press, but Dragon Lee moves out of the way and then drills Jack Cartwheel with a running back elbow. Dragon Lee hits Jack Cartwheel with a snapdragon suplex and a super kick, but Jack Cartwheel immediately fires back with a Pele kick, and then Dragon Lee drills him in the back of the head with a knee, follows that up with a Liger Bomb for a near fall. Jack Cartwheel fights his way out of the corner with a kick and goes for a flipping Hurricane Rana, but Dragon Lee catches him and hits him with a Styles Clash. Before he can go for the pin though, Mini Vikingo comes off the top rope with a Phoenix 630 senton onto both of them, and he pins Jack Cartwheel to pick up the win and earn a shot at Rey Fénix's Cruiserweight Championship at Verano de Escándalo. Backstage, we see Rey Mysterio warning El Grande Americano about this war that he is getting into with Los Perros Del Mal, and he tells them he cannot fight this war alone. El Grande Americano says he's not backing down and he's definitely not coming alone. But that's when the AAA Mega Champion Dominik Mysterio walks into the room and complains about the state of AAA lately. He tells El Grande Americano that they're going to have one of the biggest matches in AAA history at Triple Mania, and he can't have that match if Los Perros Del Mal put El Grande Americano in the hospital. He says if Los Perros Del Mal are targeting El Grande Americano, then they're targeting Dominik Mysterio. And as long as they're in this together, that he will have his back leading up to Triple Mania. El Grande Americano says he'll believe it when he sees it, and he walks away. Backstage, Dorian Roldan and Omos are making their way to the ring when they're stopped by Mini Vikingo, who says that it looks like you backed the wrong Vikingo. Dorian Roldan and Omos make their way to the ring to discuss what is happening with the AAA Latin American Championship now that Elio del Vikingo is injured. Dorian blames Rey Mysterio for Elio del Vikingo's injury as he sent him to both NXT and SmackDown, and he says that he's going to sue Rey Mysterio for negligence. Dorian makes the executive decision to name Omos as the new AAA Latin American Champion, and when that brings out Rey Mysterio, who tells him that he does not have the authority to do that, and he demands that Omos hands over the AAA Latin American Championship or else Rey Mysterio will suspend him. Omos hands over the title by shoving Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio says that next week he will announce how they will crown a new AAA Latin American Champion, and he tells Dorian that if he wants to sue him, that he'll see him in court. After that, we got a video promo from Damian Priest, who says that if Rey Mysterio is looking for a new AAA Latin American champion, that Damian Priest wants in that conversation. Next, we have General Manager Rey Mysterio heading to a press conference table for his media blitz. He clarifies that Verano de Escándalo is a 3-week event, and some of the matches already announced for this show is that Rey Fénix will defend the AAA Cruiserweight Championship against Mini Vikingo, and Flammer will defend the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship in a triple threat match against Lady Shani and La Catalina. He also announces that next week there'll be a number 1 contenders match for the AAA Mixed Tag Team titles as La Hedra and Laredo Kid take on Joaquin Wilde and the returning Fabi Apache. He ends the media blitz by saying that he's personally inviting Andrea Bazarte to AAA TV next week because they have a lot to discuss. It's main event time as my boys, the Money Machine, Comida de Plata, and Garra de Ora take on Noisy Boy and Epydemius Jr., who are 2 guys I am very excited to see here in AAA. The match starts off with Comida de Plata and Noisy Boy trading holds and getting in and out of position with different flips, and then they make the tag to Garra de Ora and Epydemius Jr. And Epydemius Jr. shows off his skills by catching Garra de Ora with a Hurricane Rana and a Tornado DDT. Epydemius Jr. and Noisy Boy hit Garra de Ora with a double hip toss neckbreaker and follow that up with Epydemius Jr. launching Noisy Boy up into the air for a twisting senton for a near fall. Comida de Plata makes a secret tag and then attacks Noisy Boy from behind to gain the advantage for the Money Machine. Money Machine hits Noisy Boy with a pair of splashes in the corner and follows that up with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and a Garra de Ora splash off the top rope. Comida de Plata hits Epydemius Jr. with a suicide dive to the outside, and then gets back in the ring, and then Money Machine hits Noisy Boy with a pair of shoulder tackles, a double big boot, and a double elbow drop. Noisy Boy fights back and makes a tag to Epydemius Jr., who hits a twisting crossbody on the Money Machine, and he follows that up by hitting Garra de Oro with a springboard arm drag, and hits Comida de Plata with an enziguri. Noisy Boy hits an insane twisting Hurricane Rana off the top rope onto Comida de Plata, and Epydemius Jr. hits Garra de Ora with a running rolling senton and follows that up with a twisting senton out of the corner, shades of his mentor Laredo Kid. That's when he goes and hits a suicide dive onto Comida de Plata on the outside, and then in the ring, Noisy Boy hits a twisting senton onto Garra de Ora for a near fall. Noisy Boy spikes Garra de Ora with a poison Rana. Comida de Plata hits Noisy Boy with a released German suplex. Epydemius Jr. and Comida de Plata collide in the ring with a double clothesline. That's when Carmen Petrovic and Los Perros Del Mal make their presence known as the Perros get into the ring and attack all 4 competitors. They beating them up so viciously and start to rip off Money Machine's clothes, which honestly pissed me off because you don't do that to Money Machine. Daga grabs the microphone and calls out El Grande Americano, and he says if he's not going to come down there, that they're going to continue to beat up Money Machine. That's when El Grande Americano, flanked by the returning Rayo and Bravo Americano, make their way down to the ring, and the fight is on. Bronco Nima pulls out both Rayo and Bravo Americano and slams them onto the announcer's table, and El Grande Americano is surrounded by Los Perros Del Mal, but he's going to go down swinging as he's trying to fight them all off. That's when the AAA Mega Champion Dominik Mysterio runs down to the ring with a steel chair in hand to chase off Los Perros Del Mal. Dominik grabs the microphone and he challenges Daga to pick one of his dogs to face both him and El Grande Americano, because anyone that is messing with El Grande Americano before Triple Mania is messing with Dominik Mysterio. So we see the reunion of Los Gringos Locos 2.0 as they're going to take on Los Perros Del Mal at, I assume, Verano de Escándalo. This is a very fun episode of AAA TV. The Triple Threat Cruiserweight match was fantastic, and I'm really excited to see Mini Vikingo and Rey Fénix at Verano de Escándalo. And I was really enjoying the Money Machine versus Noisy Boy and Epydemius Jr. match until the run-ins. I really hate that they treated Money Machine like such an afterthought in that segment, because they were doing such a good job in that match, and they're honestly one of my favorite acts in AAA, so I would really like to see them being treated more seriously going forward. and I really hope we see more of Noisy Boy and Epydemius Jr. because they'd be great additions to the AAA roster. But the highlight of the episode was obviously the return of Dominik Mysterio, and now this new pairing with him and El Grande Americano as they look to work together leading up to Triple Mania to make sure that they both make it to that event. Now, I really don't trust Dominik Mysterio as he still could be the one behind Los Perros Del Mal, but even for a moment, seeing a babyface Dominik Mysterio in AAA is so freaking awesome. Thank you for watching this review, and I look forward to talk more AAA with y'all in the next video.